January, what we want to do is to water as needed. Just keep the soil moist. Avoid it drying out. In February, we check for early flowering and be prepared to cover or mist at 30 degrees to preserve flowers in case of a late season frost. Okay? Then mid to late in February, we fertilize lightly. About 1 tablespoon so the plant has what it needs to convert the flowers to fruit. In March, again we are being prepared to cover or mist at 32 degrees to preserve flowers and fruit from frost damage. Give the bush 1 inch of water weekly. In April, continue to give the bush 1 inch of water weekly and you begin harvesting fruit, in Florida at least. Do not fertilize at all. In May, harvest fruit, continue to harvest fruit 4 to 5 days after they turn blue. Continue to give the bush 1 inch of water weekly. Check for diseases affecting fruit and dispose of infected material, and do not compost this material. Again, do not fertilize during harvest. In June, continue to harvest depending on the variety. For example, the rabbit eyes may still be harvested in June. Water 1 inch weekly. Now after harvesting, fertilize lightly. Like I said, about 1 tablespoon with an acidic fertilizer. And the goal here is plant growth. In July, continue to harvest, depending on the variety. Water 1 inch weekly, and again fertilize lightly. If you have completed your harvest in, let's say, April, continue to fertilize lightly with an acidic fertilizer. In August, water 1 inch weekly, and again fertilize lightly with an acidic fertilizer. Now in September, we continue to water 1 inch weekly. And we're going to add 1 teaspoon of calcium sulfate to help the plant as it internally prepares for food production. Prune the plant, remove dead branches and branches that touch or cross each other. In October, we may add soil sulfate to the soil plants that have yellowing leaves or stunted growth. Okay? Then in November, you water as needed, just to keep the soil moist. Do not fertilize. December, the same thing. You water as needed, just to keep the soil moist, and do not fertilize. The only months that we fertilize are February, June, possibly May, and July and August. Those are the only months. And we fertilize very lightly with the goal of plant growth. For fertilization, you can use any 10-10-10 fertilizer or any type of azalea fertilizer. You may also add a bit of azomite, which helps to provide trace elements and minerals not found in fertilizers. Thanks for joining me with this little presentation of how to care for your blueberry throughout the entire year so that it is productive and healthy. Wish you the best of luck with your growing. Take care.